How's it going, everyone? It's Dawkins on here bringing you another Granblue Fantasy vs Rising video. And today I want to do my character overview of 2B. This character is very unique inside of this game. They really wanted to make a character that was just out of this universe, and that's exactly what they did. This character got a lot of tools to talk about and a lot of unique mechanics to go over. So first off the bat, you'll notice that she has something unique that no other character has, and that is going to be the skill gauge at the top. This is going to basically be what your special moves are going to utilize, rather than the cooldown system that we are used to inside of Granblue Fantasy vs Rising. So when you do your special moves, certain special moves are going to have different values of like how much they're going to take of the gauge, and this is essentially that. It slowly goes back up over time, as you see, and certain ones are going to do different ones. So you have like the regular ones, like the light and stuff, doing like 3 bars. Your these skills, ultimate skills, will do like 4. Your EX skills will do 5, as you see. Now, one other thing to note about this as well is that there's certain enders and stuff she has in her combos that actually replenish some of the lost skill gauge. So we do something like this, and I do like this ender. Look how much skill gauge she actually gets back. You saw she actually gained some just for doing this ender. It like gives her like 2-3 bars, as you see. So this is something that's going to play a part as far as like how her enders and stuff work, and as far as like what you do with stuff like that, as well as like it's going to change her combo routing, because obviously if you don't have the meter to do the 8 skill gauge combo, then you just don't have it. So you got to go for the 4 or the 3 depending on what you have. So there's definitely some combo routing there. If you want to know all about combos, I already made a combo video for the character, so you can definitely check that out if you're interested in combos for 2B. Another interesting thing about 2B is how her auto combos work. So normally when a character presses their light button, they simply just have their jab and that's it. They just jab, and if it's not connecting, then nothing happens. But 2B gets the same thing on hit or block, as you see. So it doesn't matter if she's hitting you or if it's on block. This is going to be pretty unique to her. The only other character that has something similar to this is going to be Narmaya as far as them on block, because 2B doesn't have any proximity normals, meaning she doesn't have a close button. So her standing light right here is always going to be this, even up close, as you see. So her standing medium is this, up close is still this, so it never changes. Same with her standing heavy, and you're always going to get the auto combo once again on hit or on whiff. So it does not matter if you put them on hit, block, whiff, it does not matter. You're always going to get it to come out. Now, the other unique thing about this character is she has different enders. So rather than the universal options, because characters usually have 1, 2, 3, and then like after 2 you have like the overheads and stuff like that, she doesn't have that access to that. What she has instead is the ability to do the 3-hit combos and then go into different enders. So if I press the light combo, I'll start off with light, and then I press M, it'll do that. If I press light again and not kill her this time, then you'll see that it does this baseball swing. So there's these different enders, and it doesn't matter when you do it. You could do it off the first hit. So once again, if I press light and then press medium, it'll do that. If I press light and then heavy, it'll do that. So you could choose when in the combo you want to go for the different ender. Of course, if you just press light all the way through, it would just do this, as you see. Same thing in the medium. So the medium is going to have different ones too. So if I press the medium and I press light, it'll do the backwards one right there. If I press heavy, it'll do this like rapid slash attack right here, as you see. And just like the other ones, you can do this at any point. So I could do 1 hit into the heavy, I could do 1 hit of the medium into the light, and same thing is going to apply to the heavy version. So the heavy auto combo is going to have this one right here for the medium, and this one right here for the light. So you can change when you want to press it. You can press it on the first hit or up to the 3rd hit. It does not matter, but you can pretty much have these different enders as far as her auto combo goes. Now, some other unique mechanics to this character is going to be the fact that she has a double jump. So this character has 2 jumps, as you see. So you can do double jump, you can do a super jump into a double jump, and she has a unique float, which is her JU, as you see. You go float for a bit, and you can do it again, and you'll have this attack right here. This is going to be an overhead attack, so you actually can hit ground, opponents that are grounded with it, so you can hit people with it. This also is allowing her to actually come out with buttons. You could cancel it as well by just tapping down, and you'll fast fall, and you can like sort of go in the direction you want. So you can like sort of hover in the way you want to. Now, one thing to note about her mobility options, just for extra info, once you commit to the JU, you cannot like hop off of it and then get access to your double jump. So you're not gonna like double jump. You're not gonna like jump once, hop off of it, and then get access to another jump. That's not gonna work. That is one thing this character can't do. So you do have good mobility, so you could do double jump into the hover, but that's about it. So it's pretty linear. You can't actually like mix up the different options. It'd be really nice if you could like, you know, super jump, hover, that like fast fall out of it, and then like get access to your second jump. Like her mobility would be really crazy because you'll have all these different ways to play around it. But for the most part, you either could jump once, go into it, or jump twice and go into it, and then like hover wherever you want. So that's the extent of her air mobility options. And the other unique thing about 2B is that she doesn't have access to dash normal. So she doesn't have like a dashing light attack, dashing medium, dashing heavy like the other characters. Instead, she has her unique move, which is this parry right here. So you see it says parry, and just pressing it makes her just go backwards, as you see. So just pressing it makes her go back, and on contact with a move, you'll actually get this parry animation to happen. And this actually stops the screen, like it flashes the screen. So it doesn't matter what you press. I could press a light attack here. So say I do a light button with 2B here, it will still punish it because it actually freeze flash the screen like that. You actually get a guaranteed punish. So this is going to be a true parry and not just a parry that gives you a potential punish. You get a guaranteed punish pretty much on things with how that works. Now, a couple of things this parry don't beat. Obviously, it doesn't beat throws, but it also is not going to beat projectiles as well. So you're not going to do this against a projectile. As you see, I try to parry through it. It does not work. The other thing about parry is it has a forward version. So you can do it forward as well. If you tap forward, she simply just goes forward a bit, just like that. If you hold forward, it actually turns into a run. Now, during the run portion, you lose the parry. So there's no more parry after this. So you can essentially hold for go to the run, and if you just don't get a parry, then she'll eventually just start running. So you get both. You do still get a little bit of parry, but once she actually started the run, it is no parry no more. It is essentially just her running, and then you could simply go into your normals from it. You could cancel into another one too, so you can sort of act like you're coming in and then backdash with another parry just like that. So if a person sees you're coming in, you could just go into another parry and like sort of bait out the button that way. That is something you can do. But yeah, that is essentially how that works. One thing I did forget to mention about her auto combo is that there is going to be a slight change in the follow-up. So if you do the light into the medium like this, you see she actually goes back. If you hold the button for this particular one, you'll see that she actually just don't do the actual attack. This is going to be something that you do have to play around with because of the frame data for this character. So this character does have a little bit of weird frame data that we're going to be talking about once we get into her special moves. But essentially, the thing here is the follow-up here can actually be, you could dash through it. So because of that, this is the way you'll beat that. As you see, that did say punish right there. However, if you do this, as you see, I got countered for trying to roll through something that just simply did not come out. So it's sort of a read the opponent would have to make to roll through this because they just know the string, but you don't have to actually do that version of string, which gives you a little bit of a mind game. Now, she does have safer options. She doesn't necessarily have to do stuff like this because this follow-up right here, when you do this, is going to be very negative. This thing is like minus 20 something. So it's very negative. And in a game with dash L, this could be a very hefty, pricey mind game to play, you know, for 2B. But she does have some safer options that we'll talk about. And a lot of her options when it comes to her auto combo are generally actually unsafe. Like, for example, this is minus 10 right here. This is minus 10 when you do this. This is a frame trap, but it's minus 10. Now, there is a plus version. She does have like a just frame hit here, right there. So if you, the little projectile that comes out, if you hold the button and actually hit that, it will actually turn it into a actual plus frame. So this is actually going to be plus. So just to turn on the frame data so you guys can see what I'm talking about, minus 10 right there. But if you actually hit it, it is plus 3 right there. But this is going to be very slow to do. So if opponent just mash on you, you simply won't get this. This is going to be something that's going to probably be good at further spacing. Because again, you could do this from the H. So you could do H into light. And this is probably going to be a better spacing to try something like this because you're much further out pressing the H button into this projectile reset right here. Now, before we get into 2B's special moves, talking about more of her normal. So we just talked about her auto combo. So these are her stand buttons that we just talked about. Her 2L actually is pretty decent. It like sort of got a decent range for it. Her 5L doesn't really like chain into each other, but you can do standard pressure that you would do normally. Like you can do the 5L, 2L, 5L type pressure. It's going to be +2 rather than +4 normally, like how normal ones are. So she's going to be less plus than other characters, which means she can't do things that normal characters would do. Like you can't do the like this into the medium or this into the heavy, because naturally one, she got slower buttons. So her buttons are like slower. This is 9 frames. This is a whopping 14 frames to get your standing heavy out. So being less plus, and also this button being slower than normal, this is a 6 frame 5L. So similar to Narmaya's once again, because Narmaya also have a 6 frame 5L, which doesn't have proximity on it. So they took a page from her book when it came to that. The 2B is going to be decent range here. It's going to be a little bit less range than her 5B just because she doesn't step in. So 5B actually steps in like that. So she actually does have a little bit more range on this tool. This isn't actually going to be a low, but it is a good check against opponents that are like trying to roll, or just, you know, it's a good keep out tool. If you don't want to actually put yourself like in on the opponent, you don't want to come in, it's a good like keep out tool like this. So that is going to be your stationary keep out tool. We talked about 5 heavy. 2H, very, very good anti-air. She has massive damage when it comes to her crouching confirms, and she has really good confirms because of the ability to chain this dash that we talked about into or from her normal. So you can actually do this type of stuff, and you can actually do this for like pressure resets and stuff. So because you have access to a run, you can sort of go into like your pressure and try to like do pressure resets, but it's also good for actually confirming things. As you can see, this was a non-counter hit confirm. I simply did 2H and I canceled it into her run to get a 5B confirm. So you can do 5M and then go into the 5M auto combo into the H ender just like that. And this is a non-counter hit confirm, so she does not need counter hits to actually get good combos. 2B sweep is also going to be pretty decent in range. It can be special canceled as well, so you can special cancel this into some of her safer specials like this 236L, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, 2U is going to be a pretty nice sweep. She does have some pretty decent unique jump options here. So one thing about her JL, probably not the best option. One thing to notice is this actually is not active from the moment you press it all the way down to the ground. If you know anything about Granblue, when you press a jump light button, it typically is active all the way down. So you can do it basically rising, and it will always just come down and hit the opponent. The other thing is it actually whiffs on crouchers, as you see. So the only other kid I know that actually has this issue is Luane. Luane JL does not hit crouchers. So this is going to be something that she also follows suit in. Her JM is going to be a pretty good hit in front of her, so this could be pretty good for landing in front of the opponent like this. Her JH is going to be the god tool though, because this is going to be a massive hit. This is going to be 12 frame startup that also does cross up very easily. I mean, this is a massive cross. I think it's like almost impossible to make this button whiff. You could like really overshoot, and she is definitely going to hit cross up. It is actually ridiculous. This is a very, very good jumping button. 9 times out of 10, you'll probably just be jumping in with JH. It's just a very good button. If you want to keep your spacing though, you know, JH is good for that, but JB can also be good because it's naturally a faster option. So if you want to like sort of neutral jump and try to play a little bit of spacing in the air, this could be definitely a tool for that. All right, so 2B special moves is basically going to be put into 3 different categories. So we're going to be first talking about her projectile category. So 236L is going to be your free special move. This is going to be the thing that is the saving grace of this character because of how negative her strings are. Like, look at this. This is -15. This string right here, this is -8. This string right here, if you just finish the heavy, is -10. The light version is okay, I guess. At -6, you're probably not going to get punished for here. But very negative strings, as you see. This one is -3, but again, we talked about the mind game between this one. So very negative strings, right? But at any point, you could cancel into this move, which is going to be -4. So this is probably going to be the attack that pretty much saves you right here, because everybody has like a 5 frame 5L. And the only thing that can actually punish you is a throw, but you're not going to be in a throwing distance usually when you actually do these tools. So you're actually usually are going to be pretty safe when it comes to actually doing it. Now, one thing to keep in mind, if you decide to go into one of the auto combo enders, remember, if you stay on the same auto combo, that's not considered ender. So if I press 5L and then I press 5M, that's considered one of the enders. If I press 5L and then 5H, that's considered different enders. If you stay on the same button, you still could do up to 3 auto combos and then do your special cancel. If you decide to do one of the enders, you cannot special cancel these. These are not special cancelable, so you have to stay on the same button if you want to do a special cancel. Just keep that in mind. The next one is going to be 236M. This is actually going to be a pretty decent tool because you could play at like ranges like this, do your pressure, and then sort of go into it. It's a pretty fast projectile and is neutral on block, as you see. So from a situation like this could be very good, and you're at a really solid range here, like right at your 5H range, which is a very nice range, because being at the tip of this is going to be very good because of the next tool we're going to be talking about in the next series. But the fireball here, the EX fireball right here, is going to be plus. This is always going to be plus for you, and this is also going to lead into some of the combos that you do. Once again, just talking about the things, this is free, by the way. This does not cost skills gauge. This one is going to cost 3. So as you see, this one's going to cost 3 for you. So this costs 3, and then the EXs, I believe, across the board costs 5. So you need 5 skill gauges to actually do this. Once again, this is going to be plus, and is going to be something that you're going to be seeing in a lot of combo routes. Now, one thing to know about her fireball is not going to be very good for fireball wars. You're using your skill gauge, and it just simply cancels them out, and it's pretty slow. So a lot of times if you're like up this close, you're not going to be able to react to it in time like other characters with fireballs can. So it's gonna be very hard for her to react to fireballs at this range, and you're using your skill gauge, which is a very important tool, unlike these characters that can just keep fireball spamming. So this is not going to be the tool to actually try to win these fireball wars with. Now, talking about her other series, so this is the projectile series, the 236 series, 236L, 236M, and 236H. This is the projectile series. The next series we're going to talk about is basically considered like her mobility series. So this is going to be like the mobility and like attacking series. So this is going to have access to 214L. This is going to be like this shield tackle right here. This is going to be a very good tool for just getting in. Is -6 and at spacing that it actually does. You're not going to get punished at the spacing. So it's a very good like come in tool. It's pretty hard to actually hit. It seems like it got a lot of priority, even though it's a light, so it definitely could get crushed by heavies and stuff. But it does seem really fast, and it does seem like it has some pretty good priority as far as like it just beating out stuff. Of course, in the corner, this is going to be one of her main tools to combo from, because this is going to give her the ability to actually link a light. So you could do like auto combo into this and then do a light confirm just like that. So you get some pretty nice confirms when it comes to combos from this tool right here. This is going to be one of her main tools that you're going to see her actually combo from. Now, talking about 214M, this is going to be the pull in. So this is going to be +5. So the moment it tethers the opponent, you're +5 and you could link 5M. So there's no reason really not to ever press 5M here because of the plus frames. Of course, if you're trying to bait out DP, then of course you wouldn't do that. But yeah, you do have plus frames when you actually hit with this. The other thing to note about this tool is it actually is a projectile itself, and it still travels through. So if you're at the right distance and you see a fireball coming, this is going to be the tool to get you in there. This is going to be the tool that you want to utilize versus people who love throwing fireballs full screen. This is going to be a guaranteed way to punish them and get in. Very, very strong tool versus fireballs at the full screen. When you're up close, it actually is pretty slow. So she actually can get hit when you're trying to like react to fireballs. As you see, she actually just don't go through. So if you're reacting, she can get hit before she actually starts to go through. She has to hit them with it first, and then it's pretty much guaranteed that she'll zip line through it just like that. So that is how that tool is working. Also keep in mind, this tool also costs 3 skill gauge, just like the 214L. The other thing about 214M is that this tool is going to give... The other thing about 214M is that you can utilize this tool in combos from H when the opponent is crouching to actually extend combos. So you can actually get even more damage from combos when you actually have them crouching like this and you hit with this tool. And because you always get an auto combo, you pretty much always get this combo if you're getting H. As long as you're not at like the very tip range, you could pretty much probably guarantee that you're going to see this combo. You see tip range don't work, but around like somewhere right here, you're pretty much guaranteed to get this combo. Now, talking about 214H, this is going to be EX, so it's naturally going to cost 5, and this move is going to be very, very good for this character. So at point blank range, this is going to be -6, right? This is nothing crazy, -6 right there. But there is a sweet spot. If you hit exactly on the hammer, you'll get a guard crush at +6, as you see. But it also changes properties on hit as well. So if I do an auto combo here and then I press the EX just like that, it sort of just does a knockdown like that, and you're +6. So you really can't really combo off the tool in a situation like that. Maybe if you're like in the corner, you got some running momentum. You get a combo just like that because it sort of knocks them down. You're +6. Your 5L is also +6, so it works in that sense. But what you're really looking for is tip range hits. So if you get anything in tip range, this is where the tool becomes devastating. So if you hit the hammer here, it actually does a bounce like that, which gives you plenty of time to actually get your H attacks inside of combos. So if you do this 5H at like the tip range and then you do this, you get access to a 5M. I know I said 5H earlier. I meant to say 5M, but you get a 5M combo from this. So you can do 5MM into H, 5MMM into H, because remember you get 3 auto combos into your ender of choice, and H is going to be one of the better ones here because of one, it does a lot of damage and it gives you the most skill gauge back. Now another good thing about this tool is it actually helps our anti-air game, because if you hit with that hammer, you actually get the 5H that I was talking about into some massive damage. So this is going to be a very good combo that is allowing her to get some really good damage even on non-counter hits. So this is going to be a very strong tool for this character. Now the last set of special moves that 2B is going to have is going to be the 2-2 series, and this is going to be basically the utility series. So starting off with 2-2L, this is going to be this pod toss like this, and this is going to be plus. Once again, all of the regular special moves, so all the ones we talked about, they're going to cost 3 skill gauge. So it naturally is 3 skill gauge for each one. EXs cost 5, and then ultimate skills cost 4. That's pretty much how this works. But yeah, this is going to be something that is plus, and it's also going to hop her up in the air. So this is going to be very good for actually baiting out throws, and also it doesn't actually overshoot. Like there is no like momentum for it, so you don't have to worry about actually hopping over the opponent on accident and then having this whiff. It does splash behind, so you're naturally always going to get this to happen. This is going to be a very good tool for baiting out throws and just trying to reset pressure situations to basically get some plus frames. On a standing opponent on a hit, this will actually give you a combo. For some reason, this does not work if they're crouching. It also works on counter hit though. So if you get a counter hit while they're crouching, it works. But for some reason, if they are crouching and you actually do this, you do not get a combo. I don't know why it works like that, but that is how the combo routing for this works. 2-2B is going to be her pod gravity move right here. So this is going to change the trajectory of their jumps and also going to make it to where they can't move that well. So just showcasing it. You still get the same jump arc, so you still get the same jump height, but however, it is changing the fact that he cannot jump as far as you see. So this is going to change that, and it's going to mess with them trying to backdash and stuff. This can also pull them out of the corner. So if you do this like while you're like somewhere here, like if you do something like this, this will pull them out of the corner. You can go for like corner sort of mix-ups or whatever, like pull them out of the corner. There are a couple of cute setups that people are finding that can pull them out of the corner and stuff like this. And yeah, this is just one of her utility tools. Now another really good tool for 2B is going to be the 2-2H. This is going to put these lasers around the opponent, and then when you press it again, it will simply shock them. So this is going to spend 5 skill gauge. As you see, it is going to be +6 on block, and it leads into a really good combo on hit. Because this thing actually has a lot of hits done, you can actually get a 5H afterwards, which actually opens up your combos opportunities a lot. So you get a lot of decent damage opportunities from this tool, which is very good. Now talking about 2B's ultimate skills, now we talked about a lot of tools that this character has, but she only has 3 ultimate skills. Talking about her 214U first, this is going to be her DP. So this is going to be a pretty standard just, you know, DP that you can do. Now this is going to cost 4 bars like we talked about, so you need 5 bars to actually do this. However, if you don't have 5 bars, you actually still can utilize this tool, unlike other tools. So you see I don't have 4, and I have the meter for this. As you see, I did it with 1. The only drawback is it actually does less damage on a hit when you actually do not have the proper amount of bars. So you still have access to the tool, but you just simply don't have the amount of damage that you normally have. Now talk about her 2-2 ultimate skill. This is going to be this barrage of attacks here. This is going to be pretty much her best Oki tool. If you want to have a really good mix up, this is the tool you want to utilize, because you get a high-low mix, and because this character have a float, it really makes it tricky for opponents to really know if you're going to go for an empty jump low or an overhead. You don't have to do the standard timing of just jump overhead or empty jump low. Because you have a float, you can mess with the timing and mess up people trying to just do fuzzy defense. A proper or a pretty decent way to actually get this tool started is from your sweep. So if you do sweep into spot dodge into this tool, you get a good mix-up opportunity from this point, as you see. So this is going to be a pretty good situation for this tool. And yeah, this is the way I've been using it. This is a pretty good way to utilize this tool. If you get a sweep, get a spot dodge in there, you can get a pretty good mix-up. And typically, because a lot of people are crouching, this leads into this tool becoming a combo actual starter, like we talked about before. So you can actually do this in certain combos when you actually hit with H's, like we talked about, and get those good combos going. Now, her 236 ultimate skill is going to be her fireball, and this is probably going to be the best tool you have to beat fireballs. And unlike a lot of other characters, this is going to net her a full combo and hit. Granted, you have the skill gauge to do so. So this is going to cost you basically 7 skill gauge to get at least a combo, because you have to spend the 4 for this, and then you can actually zipline all the way over there, which will cause an additional 3. So you need a total of 7 to get a combo from this. As you see, you can get something like that. And of course, if you have even more skill gauge to work with, then you can extend that even further to get even more damage. You can even do 2 of these in one combo. So if I want to do, like, say, like one of these like this, and then do another one, you could do multiple in a combo to actually keep the combo going for longer. Because again, as far as this game combo theory go, you actually don't kick in combo limit until you actually knock an opponent off the ground. But because this keeps an opponent grounded, you can extend the combo much longer than you originally would be able to from like a standard combo. So this is going to net you a lot of damage if you're willing to spend the resources for this type of combo. And of course, 2B also has her set of supers. This is going to be the regular Skybound art right here. Nothing really to talk about here. They're just your Skybound arts for your supers. You have this one right here as well, the super Skybound art. So yeah, these are going to be your main 2 supers. You do have the other super, however, which is going to be the actual self-destruct super. So the self-destruct super is going to be the super where after 3 seconds it explodes and then you basically just die. This super, basically, if you do not kill the opponent, you are going to die. So this has to hit and kill the opponent in order to win with this super. It does a huge chunk of damage and it is unblockable. But in this game, we actually have a spot dodge, so there's no technically ever like real setup. As far as I know, there's nobody that found a real one, but there are some cheeky things you can try to do that are pretty good. For example, the thing we were talking about earlier, if you do something like this is going to be something that can actually net you a pretty decent opportunity at getting this off. And because you could buffer the super into this, you get something like this. So they wake up into this, and the only option they pretty much have is to spot dodge at the right timing, because you're actually stopping them to where they can't jump out, and because it hits on both sides, they can't roll. So they actually just have to try to spot dodge it at the right timing. If they mess up, they will get hit. But again, it does have to kill them in order for you to win the round with that, or you just simply lose. And that pretty much covers everything I want to talk about for this 2B day 1 overview guide. Like I said, if you're interested in combos, I definitely put out a combo video guide, so you guys can check that out. This is mainly just talking about my impressions of her tools, talking about the mind games between the things on block, how negative certain things are, just talking about all the properties of her tools and trying to give you guys a sense of the applications of the tools themselves. But yeah, I hope you guys found this useful. As always, like anything I had to say, drop me a like, I greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, follow my socials. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you know when the next video goes live. As always, my name is Dyken, and I'll see you next time. Signing out.